Have you been tracking with us? We've begun a series 3 conversations back, and we've been talking about different things. We began by talking about who am I? That was our topic number 1. So if you've not watched it, please go back and watch. And then the next one, we asked, why am I here? And then on the 3rd episode, we asked, what's the glue that's holding you back? On this episode, I want to ask, who is in your glow team? Who is in your glow squad? And glow in its definition is just glow. Like right now, I'm glowing, right? I am glowing. I want to ask, in your life, who is in your glow team? Who is in your life that supports you becoming who you're supposed to be? Who surrounds you that allows you to be able to accomplish your why? Who's in your glow team? Either we like it or not, a lot of us is influenced by the people around us. Actually, there's a saying that says that you are the sum of the 5 people around you. If you hang out with professional bankers, most probably you'll be the 6th. Yeah, because that's all they talk about. Who you hang out with has effect on yourself. And a lot of times we want to say, I am doing me. I am my own person. But I want to subject to you today that the people you hang out with most, either you are conscious about it or unconscious about it, they will influence. You will begin to talk like they talk. You will begin to perceive things like they perceive. You will just begin to have conversations the way they have them. So it is so important for each one of us to consider the people around us. If you're going to point A and you hang out with people who are at Z, do you see how they will influence you with Z, yet you wanted to go to point A? So today I want you to really reflect and think about the people who are closest, the people you spend the most time with. It could be colleagues, it could be friends. I just need you to really critically think, do they support the person you're becoming? Are they good for the person you need to become? Are they good for your why? Are they good for your who? Because remember, we figured out who we are. We can't be hanging out with people who don't align to our values and expect that we will be who our values say we should be. Okay? We can't be hanging out with people who do not affirm our why and expect that we're going to win at our why. We cannot get unstuck. Remember last week we talked about getting unstuck. We can't get unstuck from the glue if we are hanging out with people who are stuck themselves. Relationships and friendships and people are what I define as the second most precious currency for me personally. I've realized just as much as money is valuable, relationships are valuable. And up to where I'm at, I have realized that 4 categories of relationships are important for each one of us. If we want to succeed, if we want to become everything we were created to be, if we want to win at life, we need these 4 categories of people. So, do you have your pen and your journal or your notepad, whatever it is that you write? Because I need you to write these things so that you can afterwards reflect and be able to evaluate your relationships and see, do they fit into these 4 categories? The first category of people that I think every one of us, if we're going to accomplish the things that we're meant to accomplish, if we're going to become who we are meant to be, we need. The first is divine connectors. I know. So number 1, divine connectors. Who are these people? Divine connectors, they are your midwife. They are the maids in Naaman's house. If you remember the story in 2 Kings, where Naaman is sick and he's struggling. And then he has a maid in his house who tells him that there's this place that if you went and dipped yourself, you would get home. You remember the story? For those of us who read the Bible, this should be a familiar story, Sunday school story. The maid in that moment was the divine connection that Naaman needed. Divine connectors are people who are able to connect you to your next miracle. They're able to connect you to your next door. And you cannot say a divine connector looks a certain way. It could be a housemaid, it could be a watchie, it could be the garbage collector in your hood, it could be your mama mboga. It could be anybody that God places in your life to become the midwife to you birthing the next thing. So one of the things that I think or I found to be very important is to be a person of honor. All right? To be a person who honors up, honor the people who you perceive are higher than you, but you're also a person who honors the people who are, you honor up, honor down, and honor sideways. Up is for people you perceive to be higher than you. Sideways are for people who are your peers, but also down are the people who you perceive to be lower than you. It could be that mama mboga who you perceive to be probably lower in rank or profession than you. That you're a person who honors up, honors down, and honors sideways. Because you don't know who's going to be your divine connector. You don't know who God is going to use to be able to connect you to the next thing. So, number one, relationships that you need is divine connectors. And the key to this is honor up, honor down, honor sideways. Second category of the persons every one of us needs in our life, I call them mentors. Every one of us, where we want to go, someone else has gone before. If for me, who is a pastor and want to grow as a woman of God, there are other women of God who've gone ahead of me and have done this. I need to find mentors, people I can look up to, people who I can ask, how did you navigate this situation? What did you do when you came across this? People who can offer good counsel and wisdom. We all need mentors. So around the relationships you have, I want you to think about them and ask yourself, do I have a mentor around? Do I have someone who is aligned to the things I want to do, who is aligned to who I want to become, who walks with me, who journeys with me, who is able to tell me, walk this way, don't walk that way, jump that hoop. Who is able to be my guide? Mentors. So number one, divine connectors. Number two, mentors. Number three of the category of people I think are fundamental and important for us to have are gifted people. I know gifted people, for example, when I conceptualized doing these conversations, I knew that I had the context, like I knew what I wanted to say, but I knew I did not have the skills that it took to be able to do it. So I had to look for a gifted person, someone who is good with recordings, is an editor, and is able to produce, to be able to make this vision a reality. Okay? So even though I knew what I wanted, even though I knew this is what God wanted for me to do this season, I needed to have a gifted person around me, someone I could go to who will help me to make this a reality. I hope you're getting the gist of gifted people. You need people who are skilled around you, because these people who are gifted are able to speak into your life, and they are able to offer you a hand in what you need. How God designed us is He ensured that we are not enough by ourselves. He ensured that we will need others. He talks about the body of Christ being a body with many parts. The hands have a function, the eyes have a function, and then together collectively we make the body. For us to be able to accomplish the dream, for us to be able to accomplish our why, we will need other people, and you will need people who are gifted in different things. So category number one, we talked about divine connectors. Category number two, mentors. And then we need gifted people. But we also need a group of people that I find that are very, very fundamental. Like I know I would not survive without this kind of people. And I call them burden bearers. Burden bearers are, my friends, relationships with people who do not care about my title. They don't care if I am broke or if I am rich. They are just there because they genuinely love me. They want to do life with me. You will need these burden bearers. In life, you will need people cheering you. You will need people holding you down. You will need people who can tell you the truth. Who can be able to say, hey, I see this and this is not who you are. You need people who can be able to speak truth into your life genuinely. And you need people who you can just go and pour out your heart to. And these are the people I categorize as burden bearers. So in your glow squad, when you're thinking about the squad, the group of people you need in your life, I want you to ensure that you have these four categories. That you are someone who is honoring enough in every place you are, because you know that potentially the people you are relating with could be your divine connectors. But also, it is your responsibility to look out for mentors. That you are going to be reaching out to mentors and saying, hey, could you consider working with me? Could you consider journeying with me? Because I need your wisdom. I need to learn from you in this area or the next. And then you will need the gifted people. When you've sat down and you've processed and you know who you want to become and the things that you need to do, then you're able to see who are the people that I need that are aligned to my giftings, are aligned to the things that I need to do. Gifted people. And then burden bearers. And as you're looking for burden bearers, that you will make the decision to be a burden bearer for someone else. Here are some few scriptures that are found that have guided me in terms of relationships and in terms of these conversations we're having. And Proverbs 18:24. I'm letting you know, I won't read them out loud and you can go read on your own. Proverbs 18:24, Titus 2-7, and then there's Ecclesiastes 10:10. All right? I repeat, Proverbs 8:24, Titus 2:7, and then Ecclesiastes 10:10. We need relationships. Ensure that your glow squad is intentional. That life is not happening to you. Because if you allow it to just happen to you, if you allow that to hang out with just about anybody, in not so long, you become them.